Forward undaunted, defending the right one. Forward undaunted, our rights are attacked. Forward together, repel the attacker. Forward together, of course we will win. Let's move together, synchronously together, bouncing, crashing to the enemy. Undaunted, undaunted, let's attack together, go forward and win together.
Hi, how are you, Miss Hannah? Are you and your family healthy? Hi, Dr. Nina. It's very nice to see you again. Yes, we are now healthy, doctor. But actually, I am very worried about the virus that everyone's talking about. I'm already an elderly. Reportedly, that the coronavirus will be so dangerous for the elderly. Is that right, doctor? Ah, so it's about the coronavirus, right? I can help you to explain about the coronavirus in the elderly clearly. Please have a seat first, Miss Hannah. So, this March 2020, Journal of Infections reported that a study about 4,200 COVID-19 positive cases. It was reported that 26.2% of patients who participated aged 60 years and over. Wow! So, a quarter of the total cases are the elderly. Is it right, doctor? That's right, Miss Hannah. And from the data, it was conveyed that the elderly are more susceptible to have severe cases which require intensive care at the ICU. And I'm sorry, ma'am, but this data also shows that the death rate due to COVID-19 at the age of 60 years and over is higher. Oh my goodness! So then, what should I do, doctor, to prevent the COVID-19? I am so afraid about this. Well, first of all, we don't need to be panicked. We have to face this together. First, we have to identify whether you are included the elderly group or not. Because the elderly must have several comorbidities and also frailty. If so, then they are more susceptible to overcome infection. That's the difference. So, how do I know if I have frailty, doctor? Frailty is aging that is characterized by increasing the range of stressors so that it will be easier to get unwanted events. So, for instance, easy to fall, easier to get sick, etc. How do we know whether an elderly person is also frailty? Okay, so here is how we identify whether an elderly person is being frailty. First, we have to identify if there is any unwanted weight loss from minimum 5% from last year's body weight. People who are too thin or too fat also have more risk to being frailty. Lack of various vitamins can also increase the risk of frailty. Second, we have to identify if the elderly can get tired easily, fatigue that occurs even when only to do light activity. Third, reduced hand grip strength also indicates fatigue. Fourth is whether the walking speed slows down. And the last one, whether the level of physical activity is low, have more sedentary activity like sitting, and not as active as other. Okay, so do the 5 criteria need to be fulfilled to say someone is being frailty, doctor? Well, there have to be at least 3 criteria to be fulfilled so that someone can be categorized as being frailty. What if there are only 1 or 2 criteria? If there are only 1 or 2 criteria, then it is called pre-frailty or towards frailty. If there are no criteria that fulfilled at all, then that person is called being fit. Okay, I understand. Now, I would like to know, how can I struggle to be not frailty, doctor? Let us discuss while relaxing in the living room, Miss Hannah. Shall we? So, Miss Hannah, there are significant differences between the syndrome of frailty and the effects of aging. Frailty syndrome is reversible. Conversely, the effect of aging continues with age. I see, doctor. If so, what are the things that can be done to keep our body healthy and avoid being frailty? The first thing to note is the adequacy of nutrition. We have to consume enough daily energy, protein, and multivitamin. From various studies, it is known that the lack of vitamin A, D, and E consumption will increase the fragility. The use of dentures and the disturbance of chewing and swallowing can also increase the risk of being frailty. The function of chewing and swallowing must always be evaluated so that if there are any problems, we can overcome this earlier. So this means we have to see the dentist regularly. Is it right, doctor? Yup, that's right, Miss Hannah. So, beside nutrition, what else should be considered, doctor? Well, the next point is exercise. The food that we consume will become a muscle mass if accompanied by regulated rhythmic from physical activity. Wow! So the role of sports is so important. Is it right, Doc? Yes, that's right. And here is a good quote about sport. Wow, it's really good quotes, doctor. Then, do you have any tricks so that we can organize to exercise better in our daily life? First of all, the night before going to sleep, we need to plan that tomorrow morning we will start the day with exercise. Second, allocate at least 30 minutes a day for exercise. There are so many kinds of exercise that we can do, such as morning walks, static bicycles, swimming, riding around, or other sports that you like. Third, schedule the sport agenda into our weekly calendar and treat them as irrevocable agreements. Fourth, start the day with exercise as our first activity before we continue our routine activities. Then, you will be ready to exercise better. Wow! I am so glad that I've got so much enlightenment like this. Thank you very much for sharing, Doctor. Oops, and it's time to pick up my grandson. So, I'm afraid that I have to leave first, Doctor. So, inshallah, next time there will be many other things that I want to discuss it with you. Sure, Miss Hannah. Actually, it's my pleasure to share many information with you. I hope you can apply all the advice that I shared to you into your daily life. So stay healthy and take care, Miss Hannah. Bye.